Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Melissa Sturgess, who's CEO at Ananda Developments. How are you today, Melissa?
Hi, Zak. Good to talk to you again.
All right, we've had news today. It seems to be all about MRX1.
Yes, I saw your note on your Traders Cafe website saying the gift that keeps giving. Yes, so we've in the background been doing some work with MRX1. This is all the sort of stuff that pharmaceutical companies like to see us do as we're developing these drugs. And we're looking at a mouse study and a particular condition called heart failure with preserved ejection fraction, which HFpEF. Basically, 50% of heart failure is associated with HFpEF, and it's all about the themes that we're seeing all over the news at the moment, NHS and the likes, benefits linked to poor diet, lifestyle choices, that sort of thing. And essentially, it's when the heart doesn't work properly because it's fibrotic and inflamed. So what we did was we have done a mouse study and we made these mice have this particular indication, HFpEF, a very high-fat diet. So it made their heart and lungs much bigger and heavier. And then we administered MRX1, our patent-pending CBD-based drug candidate that's been used in some of our other trials. We administered that and their hearts and lungs pretty much went back to the size and the weight they were before they had the high-fat diet. So, pretty, A, very interesting, and B, very exciting. And I think for us, starting to get some actual printouts and some really hard data around drug candidates really encouraging, and gives us a really good place to start looking at this new indication, which is obviously a very big one, and also because it is the same drug that we're looking at in these other indications, chemotherapy-induced pain and endometriosis, gives us a level of confidence going into those trials. So yeah, a good morning for us.
And this, I mean, just to reiterate, MRX1 therefore has more uses than you originally thought it might have.
Yes, when we developed the drug, when we were in the discovery phase, we focused really on what we knew was good about CBD, which is it has these incredible anti-inflammatory amongst a lot of other things it can do. There's anti-inflammatory properties, and so really we're interested in casting the net quite wide. Obviously, not so wide, can't execute on our clinical trials because that's the way we get through to a licensed drug and to the NHS and to NICE approval and the prescribing that we all want. But certainly we're casting the net across a whole range of inflammatory conditions, and those of us, it's sort of, I'm calling it impact investing because you can invest in another and make some money, and you can also do some good. And some of us are at that age where investing in things like cardiac treatments or heart treatments might be for our own good as well.
Yes, it does seem to be quite useful in that area. But this is something which actually, I'm presuming that conventional medicine doesn't actually have a cure for.
Well, that's right. At the moment, none of them really work. So it is another area of very high unmet need. And we know that CBD and our formulation, there's nothing disastrous. So we're not really worried about side effects. We're really worried about efficacy. And this data is an incredible start in the right direction for this particular heart condition, HFpEF.
Right, the share price isn't everything, but the share price of Ananda has doubled so far this month, and still a few days to go. Your market cap is currently 60
yes.
million. Are there any sort of comparable companies, other other people that you're looking at, or that maybe investors or potential investors should be looking at, just so they can compare and contrast what you're doing, what your valuation is, and as I said, other companies out there?
Yeah, look, there's one that we watch particularly called Cardiol Therapeutics, which is Nasdaq listed, and I think their market cap's about 250 million or so US dollars. And they have a similar strategy to us in that they are taking this CBD molecule, they are formulating it in their own novel way and doing clinical trials in very similar way to the way we are. So I think they're probably the closest I can think of. I don't think there is anyone else yet that's actually doing work in patients, but certainly focusing more on the drug development, pharmaceutical discovery development type companies is where we sort of now see ourselves. So yeah, I think that'd probably be the closest comp that I could think of.
And just finally, I did say this morning, the MRX one is the gift that keeps on giving. Are there any other potential uses that it might have?
Yes, look, we haven't announced as yet, but we have a couple of indications that we're speaking to clinicians on. We found some people who are particularly interested in exploring our drugs, and one of the benefits of having the clinical trials committed that we already do have committed and that we're working towards is that clinicians who are leading researchers in their space can look to that work and speak to those clinicians to get comfort that the drugs that we are developing are going to help the sorts of indications they're interested in. So yeah, we've got a couple of irons in the fire, and we will announce those as soon as we can.
Melissa Sturgess, CEO at Ananda Developments, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Zach. Good to talk as always.